You know, it's interesting. That was right at the peak height of, well, Ghislaine Maxwell didn't have a friend in the world. He could have easily gotten away with saying, you know, what the media wanted to hear, but he didn't. And I find that remarkably human, and it's telling, and it signals to me that there's something else going on here and that it's an injustice.
Yeah, when Donald Trump was asked about Ghislaine Maxwell and he said that he wished her well multiple times, that did signal something to me too, but apparently not the same thing as it signaled to Greg Kelly of Newsmax. See, to me, it signaled a really strange approach from a guy who has never had trouble insulting people, harsh language, insults, mocking nicknames. But all of a sudden, when it comes to one of the most grotesque monsters currently alive in America, Trump only had nice words. And yet for Greg Kelly, it represents humanity, compassion, the idea that there's something else going on. Again, I agree that it signals that something else was going on. But why the hell you would think that that signified that Donald Trump a half decade ago knew that she wasn't actually guilty and yet chose not to do anything? None of this really makes sense. But Kelly has a mission here. It's a horrific mission, okay? But this is where it starts. Take a look at this.
I know people are horrified when I say there's a possibility that this individual just might be innocent. But think about it. Who's told us about her? The most reviled institutions in America, right? The media and the Biden Justice Department, right? They did the heavy lifting on this stuff.
That is every bit as gross as you might think that it is. His point in doing this entire segment was to say, maybe she's innocent actually. Maybe the only person behind bars right now for what Jeffrey Epstein did actually didn't do anything wrong. I mean, after all, where did you hear about Ghislaine Maxwell? The media, the Biden Justice Department. A couple of issues with that, Greg Kelly. First of all, one of the places I heard the most about this entire scandal was from right-wing media for years and years and years. Oops, forget about that. No. It's Biden, and if Biden was talking about it, she must be innocent. That's the only place where we heard about Ghislaine Maxwell. But I thought about that, and I don't think that that's actually true. I think there are some other places that we've heard about Ghislaine Maxwell. For instance, we heard from Carolyn Farmer. She said during her testimony against Maxwell that at age 14, before one of the massages she was told to give Jeffrey Epstein, Maxwell, quote, came in and felt my boobs and my hips and my buttocks and said that I had a great body for Mr. Epstein and his friends when she was 14 years old. I heard that, Greg Kelly, directly from the victim. Or how about Jane? She testified that Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein approached her again when she was 14 years old at a summer arts camp back in 1994. And over the next 2 years, they sexually abused her every other week, okay? With Maxwell sometimes taking direct part in that sexual assault of this 14, 15, and eventually 16-year-old. And she said in her testimony, in response to the question, what was Maxwell's demeanor like during these incidents? She said, I would say that it seemed very casual, like it was very normal, like it was not a big deal. And when she behaved like that, how did that make you feel? Well, it made me feel confused because that did not feel normal to me. I'd never seen anything like this or felt any of this, and it was very embarrassing. You know, it's all these mixed emotions. When you're 14, you have no idea what's going on. But Ghislaine Maxwell knew what was going on. She was targeting 14-year-olds for Jeffrey Epstein over and over and over again across couple dozen years, across hundreds or more victims, many of whom came out very bravely and testified against Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. But apparently Greg Kelly didn't listen to them. Apparently he only heard about it from that damn fake news media. And since he doesn't give, I almost swore, I'll stick with a damn about the victims or the pain they suffered and continue to suffer at the hand of the person that you're now doing unpaid PR work for, okay? You can continue trying to normalize her and trying to get your base to be okay with the idea that Donald Trump is gonna pardon her. And you know that. He sees Trump moving every day closer and closer to a pardon, and it's his job to pave the way for it. But don't get too mad at him. He's just following orders. But that said, we have to talk about the effect of this. Donald Trump's stumbling and bumbling ongoing cover-up of the Epstein thing is not working. The stories he's constantly ginning up to try to get you to pay more attention to are not working. I know, Russia something, Obama something, Hillary Clinton, oh, Sydney Sweeney, I love her all of a sudden. Release the files, the American people scream over and over, but he won't do that because as bad as he's doing in the polls, he knows deep inside that whatever is in those files would hurt him even more. And so let me give you the most updated polls on this. UMass Amherst did a national poll. 70% of respondents said he is not handling the Epstein case well. Only 18% said that he is. So a tiny fraction of his hardcore base are on board with this cover up, and that's it. 63% agree that the Trump administration is hiding important information about the case, which is a high number. It should be higher considering that he is literally, undisputedly hiding information. He could release the files today. He is refusing to do so, just as he refused yesterday, just as he will refuse tomorrow because he does not want you to see what is in them. And so when you ask people, okay, you say that information is being hidden, who's hiding it? 81% say Donald Trump. Good job, America, for paying attention. 59% say Pam Bondi, which seriously, she is literally just following his orders. It means she's not operating under her own discretion. She's doing what he says. Kash Patel's at 49%. Again, I think he's on there because he kept swearing he would release them, and now he's a part of the cover up. Mike Johnson's at 47%, which I think is funny. Now, he is participating in hiding the information. He is trying to kill any attempt to get those documents requested by the House, so he deserves some discredit. Democrats in Congress are at 16%. And I just want to say to that 16% of like MAGA, like Republicans, like, are you ever gonna get tired of playing yourself? Like, I know that like it's a fun, nice, pure opiate of just the Democrats have done everything. Donald Trump is the president, okay? You guys have the president, you have the head of the DOJ, you have the head of the FBI, you have all of these. And you still think Nancy Pelosi is blocked? She couldn't stop the documents from coming out if she wanted to at this point. My God, are you people pathetic? And I don't know if for sure if this is why, but again, his overall approval rating in that poll is down to 38%. People are paying attention and they're not liking what they're seeing. But don't worry, okay? I gave more details on this on a short that's available, the Shorts tab on YouTube right now. Go watch that if you want all the details. But Bill and Hillary Clinton just got subpoenaed over the Epstein files. And you know what I say about that? Good, talk to them. And then release the files, Donald Trump. And if you need to talk to Bill and Hillary Clinton because their names are in the files, I think you need to bring in Donald Trump because his name's all up and down that thing, and James Comer knows it.